Well, back again guys, time for the next video. This one's going to be a pretty quick and simple video. I'm just answering a question I do get asked a lot, and a friend of mine asked me in the comments and reminded me a similar question not long ago, so I thought I'd just give you a quick rundown on leaders, and what leaders I use and where. So basically, a lot of people don't know this. I get asked in the shop all the time. There's a difference between leaders. And what I'm going to do is give you a basic breakdown. So first of all, you got like your fluorocarbon, the FC Rock and Netlon and Shimano Ocean. There's all sorts of different things. In your fluorocarbon's a really good leader line. It's got a tougher outer coating, and the fish can't see it. Don't ask me how, but something about the water. It disappears in the water, and apparently fish can't see it. So fluorocarbon itself comes to its own in shallow water or really clear water. I mainly use fluorocarbon when I'm like chasing flathead over the flats and nice clear water, or if I'm offshore on a shallow reef and the days are really super clear and the water's really clear, then I'll use fluorocarbon. It does seem to help, and it's good abrasion because it's got such a tough outer coating. Okay, but it's not something I use a lot of offshore, and I don't use it out wide as you don't need to, 'cause when you're fishing like 50, 60, 80, 100 meters, it's quite dark down there. The fish ain't going to see normal mono compared to fluorocarbon. I don't believe so anyway. Guys I fish with run it out there. I fish no storm and catch just as much fish, if not more. It doesn't make a difference. It just comes into its own and it's really clear water or shallow water, then it's good stuff. The next one, this is the one where a lot of people get confused. Even in the shop they'll ask the difference. Okay, so what I've got here, this is one of the ones I use a lot of. This is Black Magic, and here's the thing, a lot of people don't read this bit. It says supple. Okay, so leaders with supple on it means nice, soft, thin leader. This stuff's awesome. I use supple leaders when I'm float lining for snapper, and I also use it when I'm using lures. You can see how nice and soft it is. So you get a lot of actions. Your bait's floating more freely. It's not like a stiffer line. It's more free, swinging, and it's good for your lures. So if I'm using plastics or jigs or something out a bit deeper, a bit wider, I'll run like a 40-pound Black Magic. If I'm chasing big snapper stuff at night time with big baits, I run a 30 or a 40-pound, but in supple. Okay, I always use supple. Even when I'm rigging my trolling lures, like my skirter lures and stuff, I use Black Magic 100, 130 pound, 150 pound in supple. Just better action out of your lures, nice and soft. And the next one, this is one people don't see either, is I do a lot of live baiting. So I get asked this question a lot when I'm live baiting for like dew. They've got like raspy teeth, or I'm fishing close to the bottom next to reef. You want to go with what they call a tough line. So that's Pen 10X. It's a cheaper line, but it works really well on reef. Okay, and you'll see here, so it's got super tough. This one you'll feel it's got a harder coating on it. It's not quite as soft as the supple. These type of lines are awesome when you're fishing around hard reef, or you're chasing fish with raspy teeth like dewies. Okay, so when I'm live baiting, putting dead baits out, or even bottom bashing out wide for like pearlies and stuff, fishing around reef and on reef and structure, I run a tough line. Okay, so it's got a harder outer coating, it's more abrasion resistance, it's better. So that's a 10X and 40, that's a 10X and 80, this is 80 pound. You can see how wiry that is. This is my live baiting stuff when I'm chasing big dew on cobia and fishing hard, next to hard structure. Run a tough line, okay? Next thing is how heavy I fish. Well, these are my leaders here, so basically breakdown. When I'm in shallow reefs, float lining for snapper, and I only chase big fish, as you guys know, I don't get there to bag out and squire and play around all day with little like lures. I'll just get out there to chase big fish with baits, usually at night time. So I usually run a 30 to 40 pound trace. I know a lot of guys that say that's heavy. It is heavy, but it does help with some of the fish we're chasing at night time. And like I said before, we do hook cobia and dews and stuff when we're float lining. There's not a lot of current, so your bait gets right down deep near the reef. So the heavier trace helps us land some bigger fish, and it doesn't shy away a snapper. It really doesn't. Okay, so 30 to 40, when I'm chasing snapper, float lining, and even like micro jigs and plastic fish and that sort of stuff. When I'm going live baiting for Jews and cobes and big fish, I run 60 to 80. 60 to 80 depending on the structure I'm fishing. Generally I try and get away with 60, a little bit thinner, but if I'm fishing really heavy structure, I'll fish 80 in a tough line for live baiting for big fish. And also when I'm out, like if I'm going out jigging, chasing a few kingfish and AJs and stuff out wider, usually run around 100, so 80 to 100. And once again, I use a tough line for that too, because the jigs, you're not talking flutter jigs, we're talking knife jigs, so it's straight down and straight up at speed, so you don't need a lot of action to them. The action comes out of your rod when you're like scissoring. Okay, so 80 to 100 when I'm jigging. And when I'm in chasing flathead, generally I'm using big hard bodies over the flats, chasing big fish, so I like chasing big fish. I run a 16 pound. A lot of guys run 12 or 14 pound, which is fine, but I've been breaking off a few times and lost some expensive lures. So I run a 16, and 16 usually holds up pretty well, and still catch quite a few fish on that, even small ones. It's, as long as it's a fluorocarbon, good quality fluorocarbon, 16's not bad, and it is quite thin. Okay, and if I'm soft plastic fishing, just going out for a bit of fun with a friend to try and bag out and get a few fish, yeah, I'll run down to like a 10 pound fluorocarbon leader, 10 or 12. And soft plastic fish with and catch a few nice little keepers. Well, that's about it. Oh, and what was it? Mackerel fishing. Mackerel fishing, it doesn't matter. I just run mono straight to my lures. Their teeth are so sharp. It doesn't matter if you're running 30 pound, 60 pound, 80 pound. Their teeth are so sharp, but they get the mono, they're going to cut through. So generally, I just stick a little round of a good 40 pound. I usually just run the Black Magic 40 when I'm into mackerel lures. And yes, I do lose the occasional lure and fish, but I get a lot more strikes too and catch quite a lot. And it's well worth just, you know, losing one or two lures a season and catch more fish. 40 pound usually holds up. You can put the brakes on some pretty big mackerel on 40. And yeah, that's it. I hope that helps. And if you like these videos, guys, please subscribe. And if you want to see me do some other videos on a topic that you wanted to learn about, just write them down in the comment section below and I'll see how we go. Thanks guys, bye.